In this video, we'll talk about non-decision making. Non-decision making occurs in group decision-making settings. Some issues are diverted from the agenda and the deliberation so that a decision is not reached. The last video is about indecision, which refers to a chronic pattern of having difficulty with making decisions. By contrast, non-decision making is an inadequate decision. It happens when powerful group members manipulate or influence the decision-making process so certain issues are not raised or pursued and the relevant decisions are avoided. Very often, the status quo defenders are a minority or elite group. Power is not only used to make decisions, but also used to not to make decisions. To prevent some issues from being raised in organizations, they resort to some tactics to achieve the goal of non-decision making. First, the status quo defenders acquire people's compliance through exercising and even abusing power. For example, if you don't want the sexual harassment victims to come forward, you can threaten the victims that they may lose their jobs or lose their credibility in the profession. The second technique for non-decision making is called death by discussion. In meetings, you can use extensive discussion to distract people from an issue until the issue is forgotten, so a decision is not reached. For example, you allow the debate on an issue to continue for a long time until the group digresses to talk about other issues. Because the time allotted for the discussion of this issue has expired, whoever presides the meeting says, "Now let's move to item number 4," and the group follows suit. The meeting concludes without a decision, and this technique is called death by discussion. The third technique for non-decision making is to take advantage of and even manipulate institutional procedures for deliberate procrastination, so that the decision does not enter the arena of decision making. For example, you can have an investigation of the issue drag on for a very long time. You can always justify it by saying, "We need more data, we need more evidence." The fourth technique for non-decision making is to deliberately conceal information relevant to the issue. In HBO's TV miniseries Chernobyl, in the city council's emergency meeting, an elderly man said, "We seal off the city, no one leaves, and cut the phone lines, contain the spread of misinformation." This is how we keep the people from undermining the fruits of their own labor. Here, the elderly man not only attempts to conceal the information, but also labels the information as misinformation. The fifth technique for non-decision making is to reinforce the barriers or create new barriers to prevent an issue from entering the arena of decision making. For example, in order not to adopt a policy that you disagree with, you can require a unanimous vote instead of a majority vote. You can also use this technique to stifle a debate even before the debate starts. A bill can die without anybody ever voting on. Imagine you are a state senator and you disagree with a bill, say HB 1234. You don't want to vote against it because your vote will be on the record and it may add an unpredictable factor to your future career. The procedure in the state senate is that the senate can only hold a vote if 2/3 of the state senators are present, which is called a quorum. What would you do? You can kill the bill by asking a group of senators not to show up for the vote. The bill dies because no quorum, no vote. Power holders can use these 5 tactics singly or in combination to prevent certain concerns, unfairness in organizations, and complaints from developing into full-fledged issues which cause for a decision. There are other reasons that some issues don't end up on the group decision-making agenda. It can be that group members are frustrated after repeated dismissal when the issue were brought up in the past. They believed it would be a futile effort of keeping doing so. It won't make a difference this time, so it's a waste of time. It can also be accommodation. Instead of keeping raising concerns and bringing the issue to the fore, people accept or adjust to the existing situation. For example, teachers are overwhelmed by excessive paperwork as part of data collection for record keeping and data-driven decision-making. Instead of raising the issue for changes, teachers blame themselves for mismanaging their own time. In this video, we talked about non-decision making. It occurs in group decision-making settings. Some issues are diverted from the agenda and the deliberation so that a decision is not reached. Now it is time for you to provide an example of non-decision making and reflect on how it influences decisions made by you or the people around you.